Going live. We are live now. So fantastic. Welcome to the class today. We have three people here, three men that are from different cultures and countries, and me too. And so this should be very exciting. Today I want to discuss cultural habits. You know, what's normal in your country, what's not normal in your country. And so I will be representing Spain and the United States today as much as possible. Unless Rafa comes, which I don't know. Then we have Marco from Italy. Then we have Jar from Brazil and Ken from Japan. So the first thing I want to do is the first thing that you do is when you meet someone, you say hello. So we'll go in order. We'll start with Marco. How do you say hello in Italy?
Ciao.
That's also goodbye, isn't it?
International. Ciao.
But that's to say hello and goodbye. So isn't it a bit strange? Because if you say ciao to someone, it could be hello, or you could say ciao and it means goodbye.
Yes. Ciao, yes. In Italy, in Italian language, ciao is also for the two meanings that you said. Also, when you meet a person, you say, "Oh, ciao, how are you?" Or when you are
leaving.
Yeah, when you're leaving, and you also say ciao or arrivederci. Goodbye. Goodbye is more arrivederci.
Okay, and does it?
See you. Arrivederci is could be translated like see you again or see you next time.
Okay. Okay, good. Well, perfect. And so, Jer, I heard you. So, would you like to tell us in Brazil how you say hello to someone?
Yes, I would say hello to my daughter and my grandchildren. They are my son-in-law too. They are in Italy today, Rome.
Oh, in Italy, it's my country.
It's
wow.
It's Marco home country, homeland.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Maybe I could
They
meet.
Was in Portugal yesterday. They arrived in
near
Rome.
my country, Spain.
Great travel. Great, fantastic.
In my country we said até logo. When you say goodbye is até logo.
That means until next time, more or less, right?
Yes.
Good, because in Spanish it's hasta luego, which means until next time. So, so very good. And how would you greet someone? Let's say you see Marco in the street in Brazil. How would you say hello to him?
Olá, Marcos, tudo bem? Aqui estamos. Bom dia. É português. Good morning, Marcos. How are you?
I tend to hug you after your words.
That's the other thing I was thinking.
Me hug all you.
Okay.
Of the world.
Perfect. Well, very good. And so, Ken, let's go over to Japan. How would you say hello, or how would you greet someone in the street, being a friend or family member?
Usually the casual one is maybe yeah, yeah. But the formal one is konnichiwa. It's daytime. Konbanwa. Good evening. Ohayo gozaimasu. In the morning. So it's up to the time zone. I mean, what time is it now?
Okay, good. And the other question, Marco, for you is, would you normally shake hands, give hugs, kisses? What's typical?
Yeah.
Kiss and hug is not typical actually. Maybe if hug, for example, maybe if I leave Japan, maybe I cannot the people for a long time or whatever. I might have a close friend, but inside hug it's not so common. Also, kiss or almost always contains romantic connotation. So, but a small kid maybe kiss to the small, especially not strangers kids, but the parents kiss small kid, maybe. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, maybe a bit different from America or Europe.
Well, yeah. Well, I'll talk about in the United States, Ken, as you know as well. We'll normally say hi. We'll wave. If it's men, they'll shake hands or something like that. Girls might hug. They might do something like that, and that's about it. Now, here in Spain, which we'll go around again for this part, is kissing. Is when you meet someone, you kiss them on their cheeks.
Yes.
Now,
Also,
even if they're new people. For example, I'm sitting here with a friend, and then another friend comes over that knows my friend, and they say, "Oh, hi, how's it going?" And then when they introduce me, I have to get up, stand up, and give 2 kisses to that person. So even if I don't know them, you still have to. It's just a general thing that everyone does. Okay. So Marco, I think it's the same. Is it the same for you too? 2 kisses?
yes, Spanish people and Italian people have the similar roots. We are Latin, so we are typical people that we are warm. We are effusive, demonstrative. In some way. So
Lots
of
of
course,
gestures, right?
yeah, we are Italian special people. We are famous, because we gesture a lot with our hands, also to indicate. I know sometimes it's not appropriate, but it's our culture
The way that
or
you
maybe
are.
our past. Yeah, there is no any of offensive in our mind, but of course I. That for other people maybe it could be a bit strange, when they see us gesturing all these kind of things with the hands, similar things. But as you said earlier, when we meet, especially of course, people, friends, that in some way we are a bit closer, we tend to kiss each other on our respective cheeks, no? Of course, it's natural to shake hands for, but not for close friends. Of course, when someone else introduce a new person, or in a special occasion, for example, for a meeting, for more formal meeting that you have to meet new people. Of course, you shake hands. But with close friends, it's quite natural to kiss each other in our respective cheeks, or hug when you are when you meet a very close friends. Time is happened. But we are more demonstrative. We are people that we tend to show our passion, our feeling.
Absolutely. Well, very good. And Jar, do you have anything to add about when you greet someone? Do you kiss in Brazil or do you shake hands?
Yes, here in Brazil, when it's male to male, we shake hands. Only if it's close friends, but normally shake hands. When it's male to female, we make a hug and a kiss, three kisses.
3 kisses. Okay.
In the cheek, yes. It's normal.
Okay. Well, very good. And female?
Female, 3 kisses in the hug.
Okay.
So,
3 kisses for everyone.
yeah.
That takes a while.
Many kisses.
Not cheap, eh?
Good. And here too, sometimes when they're really good guy friends, males, they might do like a half hug, not a full hug with two arms, but with one. So kind of it varies depending on your relationship. So that's perfect, of course. Very good. Okay, so another thing I wanted to talk about is, for example, we have some symbols that we can do with our hands. Now, if, for example, in England, I know that if you do, for example, I hope I'm not doing this the bad way, but if you go like 2, for example, this means number 2. If you turn your hand around, which I'm not going to do, it means the same as in English with the middle finger.
Ah.
What about those kinds of things is, oh, Ken, I'm sorry. Yes, of course. Do you want to explain that a little more?
Yeah, maybe, yeah, instead of, it's a formal, we don't do the ball to friends or, parents or family members, but formally, the hugging, instead of shaking hands to boys, common here. So, yeah, in America, my body reacts naturally. I bow. Not
Then it's
the
you
bow.
talking.
Yeah, the right bow is okay. This bow is very, very formal situation, like a ceremony, but usually people just say hi and to go a bit formal.
Perfect. Well, good. And that sometimes happens too when I go home to the United States. I want to kiss people and I can't. So that happens naturally too. So I completely understand. So back to the hand gestures I was talking about before. I also have seen that in Australia, if you give them a thumbs up, that also means the same meaning as the middle finger. So are there any gestures like that you know of that are completely different? No?
I know only Italian.
Italian gestures. I know them all.
Yeah. I know, for example, this other one that is kind of like, okay, when you, I don't know, the same in English countries.
Exactly.
Also, for example, in Italy is a famous gesture from the past, from the Romans Empire, when the gladiators fought in the arena, that the emperor at the hand of the fighting could save or decide to die the defeated gladiator, with the thumb up or the thumb down. In the gladiator, fighting, the famous in the movie, with Russell Crowe, gladiator,
Interesting. Well, I hadn't thought about that either. I'm sure all of these symbols come from something. But good. Ken or Jair, anything to add?
Gesture, I think it's almost same. Okay mark and thumb up mark is positive. And but one English teacher who taught in South Korea, she said students or some students not a lot, not all the time. That sometimes happen to some people. Yeah, such they always ball. Yeah, not ball. Not. That's one particular gesture here, maybe for to somebody, not all of us, but yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Sorry, Becky. I want to show you all another famous Italian gesture. I don't know if you have the same in your country. For example, there are some that they are really rude. I don't want to show you.
I appreciate that.
One of them is impossible to show. And for example, is this one. When you say, you show to another people in front of you this kind of gesture, and point out and touching your forehead, your temple maybe, You are trying to say to other people that, oh, you are crazy. What are you saying? You know, you are crazy.
How do we do that in the States? I think we go like this in the United States. I think you move your finger. Yeah, he's a little, I don't know. No, I don't remember.
No,
Here in Spain is like think.
Probably.
So.
We should have a similar gesture. Probably.
That's very true. Here, actually, when people say food, they eat. Eat. They'll like put their hands like this, and they'll say eat as well. Also, here in Spain, they have a ton. They'll say, "Oh, how was the rest?" Oh, lleno, full of people. You know.
Dinero. Dinero.
That's dinero. Yeah, that money. But this means it's very full. There were a lot of people at the restaurant. So they have that one too. I should have written down some of the ones to remind myself, but there's a lot of here in Spain. If you say like this, that means like again.
Yeah.
Or if you go like this, is like the bill at the restaurant. You go, you know, you mouth the bill in Spanish. And
the other one.
That's very true.
Oh,
there's so many.
There is no way. There is no way. For me, no.
I think that's more like for me with the hand like this. So, yeah, there's so many here in Spain. There's a lot more than in the United States, I think. So good. So Jair, do you have any to share with us? Any gestures?
I don't like any communication with gestures, but sometimes we can. I'm thinking, which is my gesture? It's just now. I would say, I'm thinking, or no. When I am in the traffic jam, the people say, do anything wrong. I say, okay, very well. No fight with them in the traffic. I go home or go work. I say, okay, very well.
Good.
Perfect.
Good.
No fight.
No fight.
No fighting.
Perfect.
Good. Any other ones?
I think the gesture of calm is, how can I say, in some culture, their palm, how can I say, positions to the sky, upward. But here, the palm of the hand, how can I say? Yes, yeah, different, opposite sides. Opposite sides.
Yeah.
Got it. No, opposite. Down. Yes. And yes, and shake a little bit the finger. That's yeah, maybe if I have a picture,
This is hard.
camera, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of this.
What does that mean?
Come on.
This means come on.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes. So yeah. Sometimes people say come on, but yeah, that's meaning of come on.
Well, I find that really interesting. Actually in sign language, I don't know, because sign language is different from the United States compared to Spain, because I wanted to learn it, but then it got a bit too difficult because it's just different. And I know when instead of clapping their hands, they will go like this. So that's what kind of reminded me of that. But as far as anything else in sign language, nothing. Getting my name in American sign language, but good. Any other signs or gestures we want to talk about? This is interesting.
For example, in Italy, we sometimes we can use this kind of gesture. But what are you saying? What the F dot s? What are you saying? I can understand. This with
Interesting.
your finger closed, very close, you know, in your like a fist, but not completely a fist, you know. You can say round is open, no? But you say, what are you saying? I can understand you. What F?
Well, that's interesting. Actually, it reminds me of one. This is kind of 50-50. But if I go like this here, it means you're skinny.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're really skinny. Now, if I do this in the United States, it means something else. And it's something about men, for example. And so I'm not going to say anything else. But when I first saw someone go like this, like, oh, they're skinny. I'm like, what are they doing? What are they talking about? So you can look that one up if you have any questions, but that one was different. Trying to think if there's any other ones. I'm sure there are.
Yeah. No, but some of them, for example, in Italy, are really rude, and I don't want to show you. But
No, and I appreciate that. I feel the same way. The pinky one was my kind of, ooh, do I do that? Or there's someone that when I was, I think when the whole okay thing, oh yeah, that was fantastic.
yeah.
We'll do the same thing. And now I do it here in Spain. And so when I go home, I do all these gestures. And it's not normal because we normally don't use gestures in the United States. So
Also, this one, like you showed, no,
yeah.
is like in Italy, victory, you know, for example.
Oh.
Also, love and peace, you know, for example, no.
Of course.
Also, victory. No? We are the winner, for example.
This one is the contrary. When you go by foot.
When you go walking, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
right.
true.
Right.
Well, it's funny because I have a friend who's from England, from the north of England, and one day she gave me that gesture out of, just joking and things, and I said, doesn't mean anything to me. You're saying number 2. So she got even angrier. She wasn't angry to begin with, but it was funny. So it is really funny. And I know this here, does this mean anything to any of you? Moving your finger.
Oh.
A tiny things, I don't know. For example,
no.
Money?
Smooth liquid.
No, nothing there. This means there's a saying of, oh, it's so sad the smallest violin player is playing you a song or something. And something like that. So it just means so sad. Oh, so sad.
Oh.
Okay.
At least in Wisconsin it does. Yeah, there's a saying. We'll have to ask somebody else. But yeah, something about the smallest violin player.
Another one in Italy, for example, is I can hear you. I can't hear you.
That here too.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah. Sorry,
please. Good. Anything else?
I think in Brazil the gestures is similar to the Europe, but I heard some Asian countries or Media Oriental, they change the meaning of the gestures.
Really, Ken, tell us.
Some country you could not speak by gestures because for me is natural, but for them is different and offensive.
Yeah, right.
Maybe, but I don't know these gestures not so offensive to me. And even in Asia, some cultural differences, maybe, Japan and maybe Southeast Asia countries be different. And so I don't know exactly, but I think as a Japanese tendency, we have less gesture while we are talking in general. So not so Japanese gesture is not so expressive. Maybe not less body movement while I'm talking, or we are talking in general in Japan. I'm not sure the other Asian countries. But,
I have a question, Ken, and this is more about language. I've heard that, I know, and I'm not trying to stereotype, but I know in Chinese, I've heard that when you speak in general, that they don't have prepositions, they don't have articles. And so when they speak, it's very he, go, shop, yesterday, for example. I've heard that they have a word, and this is some things that a student told me that she was learning Chinese as
yeah.
well.
In terms
Is
of
it very
grammar,
similar?
in terms of grammar, Chinese and Japanese are different. Also, so Japanese and Koreans have preposition-like word to connect the words, like add, or to, or consider that. But the functions are a bit different from English preposition. So maybe also word order, subject, verb, subject, object, and verb. The verb should be the last.
Okay.
So for Japanese learner, that how can I say? Also plural and singular thing is they. Sometimes it can be counted, but sometimes cannot. So I think that's how can I say? That's why I often make a mistake of plural or drop a or just say apple instead of saying an apple. Such things happen to me.
Well, and that's what I was thinking is maybe, and this is just my way of thinking, is maybe because we have more words and expressions. I don't know how how expressive your adjectives are, because we can go from, yeah, I'm happy, I'm content. No, now I'm thinking of adjectives, excited, exhilarated. So we have different levels of adjectives. And so maybe because of that, maybe we have more gestures, more describing. I don't know if the language is deeper in that sense. That's kind of what I was wondering. What do you think about that?
I think as a Japanese traditional tendency, kind of samurai warlord, the ruled Japan pretty long time. They are soldiers originally, so high the emotion was evaluated. So I think it's related. That's the reason why Japanese in general is less expressive, probably.
Okay. All right. It was just something that I was interested in. I think, it's not just where we're located. It's about a little bit more than that. So good. So perfect. What about specific things for let's talk about meals, for example. We can talk about time that we eat, maybe what we eat. So Marco, with the Italian family meal, the huge meal, does lunch really take 2 hours?
2 hours for the preparation only.
I would believe that.
And other 2 hours for eating our food.
Well, good, because sometimes you make food and then you eat in 15 minutes and it's done, and you're thinking, what happened?
No, of course, in these modern times, it's completely different, no, compared to the past, at least 20, 30 years ago, when also in Italy, of course, most of the women remained at home, at their home. They were, most of them, housewives, no? So they had all the time to prepare the delicious food, for their husband and the children. Today, of course, even Italian women, unfortunately, have changed their habits. So it's not so common during the week. And we have lots of TV show about cooks, about how to cooking in every country, you know. So today, lots of men are good, you know, to perform the recipe or cooking, you know. So also in Italy, many people love cooking. Like someone go to fishing or go to I don't know, play a football.
It's a hobby.
Yeah, it's an hobby, and it's different from the past. No? When it was especially women work, no, they had to prepare food for their family. Today, like you said, it's a hobby, but in Italy, it's a very serious hobby. You can make food by joke, you know, because it's a religion in Italy. Yeah, and when, for example, just to joke a bit, when we say in some foreigner show that someone prepare, for example, a pizza with ananas, wow, we we tend to to stay beatified. It's
With
impossible
what on top?
only to imagine some food or some Italian recipe with so kind of strange taste or strange ingredients. No, we have a deep respect for our food and for our recipe. You know, spaghetti, our first course, is the must for Italian. It's quite possible if you could, you know, see us during our lunch, looking at Italian people not eating spaghetti. Spaghetti has endless recipe, really endless recipes, endless shape of pasta. So every region has the local recipe, and they are passed down every generation after generation. So for us, for Italian food, you know, is one of our strengths, no? And many people want to come to visit Italy not only for our history, for our beauties, but because they love having good food. You could arrange a special lesson for food.
Italian food.
Yeah, probably.
And what times do you normally eat
Oh,
during the day?
yeah. Of course, for us, there is another great moment, especially in the morning when we wake up, that it's impossible to stop doing that. Our breakfast. Our breakfast is another religious moment. We worship our breakfast with our cappuccino, made cafe latte, but it's not normally mixing. It's not only mixing coffee and milk. It's a kind of special recipe that you have to know how to mix them. You know. So
yep, that's the same in Spain.
yeah. And also our cappuccino is accompanied with our pastries, our sweets, filled by cream, by jam, by a lot of things. So for us, having breakfast is not only eating, but it's also having a social conversation with your friends, with people, reading newspaper, and then you can start your day. Breakfast for Italian people is a must.
Very important. Well, that's the same thing.
Sorry, I want to show you my granddaughter and my grandchildren and my
In Rome,
family.
in Rome.
In Rome, yeah.
I can recognize the famous fountain in Rome.
They are there eating a pizza or a lunch. I don't know. We here in São Paulo are habituated to eat many pizza every week.
Yes, yes. Pizza is everywhere in Italy, of course, and not only in Italy, but in every country of the world. But as I said, in Italy is a religion, and also in Rome, probably I could recommend your relatives, your daughters, and other ones going to a special place called Trastevere, because in Rome there are famous restaurant or little, we call them osteria or trattoria, the Italian name that stand for little restaurant with a conduction by local family, so all the women are depository of the ancient recipe of Roman place or typical dishes in Rome, because every region have the local recipe. So
good.
You should have other 6 or 7 hours. But I know it's impossible in only 15 minutes. Okay, no, I could go on for hours. I said, but it's right.
When you are eating a pizza or a lunch, you must to drink a good wine.
Yes, of course. That's another point that you said, Jer. For us, drinking wine, it's normal, but a good wine. Also in my region, in Tuscany, we have famous. Probably you have heard, I don't know, but Brunello di Montalcini is a very full-bodied red wine with most 12, 30 degrees. So it's very strong. You have to be drinking. You have to be drink that kind of wine when you have your lunch, and especially it's good with when you eat meat, for example. No, instead when you eat fish, you should drink white wine. So we have hundreds of different type of wines. Every one of them accompany a specific dish or specific plate. As I said, the only word that come up in my mind is for us, food is a religion. It's not a joke.
Well, here in Spain too, it's very similar. I mean, the wine culture and the food, they really respect the food too, and they think they have the best food here. And I don't know if it's the best food in the world, but they do have some really good food. It depends on the region as well, where you are, if you're in the north or if you're in the south. So lots of different things. For breakfast, for example, here they have 2 breakfasts. One before you go to work, which might just be coffee or something. And then once you're at work about 11:30, that's when you have a 30-minute break to go get another breakfast, because then lunch is later at 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3, depends. And then they have a snack about 5:36, and then at like 9 to 10 is when they'll have dinner. So it's quite different compared to the United States, that it depends on your job. But let's say you work a normal job 9 to 5, you have breakfast at home, you have lunch at work, and dinner at 5:36 when you get home. And then, of course, later you'll have a little snack before you go to bed if you're hungry. So it's quite different. Ken, let's ask you, what about the time, dinner times, lunchtime, breakfast time, things like that?
Yeah, lunchtime is noon usually, and dinner
Okay.
time actually is up to the family as a person. You know, usually maybe traditionally 6 p.m. or something, but nowadays people's schedule is pretty at random. Also, the people have to work during that time of
Right.
you know, so maybe 7, 8, 9, and on breakfast time also. But many kids, school starts 9 a.m. here, so maybe before that, maybe from 6 to 8 before the breakfast time.
6 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, because some people have to commute 1 hour or more.
That sounds
Not
terrible.
common here, but in Tokyo
No, six
area.
o'clock in the morning sounds terrible.
Yeah, exactly. Because in Tokyo area, its population is pretty much dense. So people cannot own their renting apartment. So even the renting apartment pretty high. So people live in the suburb. So sometimes my friend living in Tokyo area, he commute 2 hours. So in total 4 hours in a day. It's crazy.
That is
But it's
crazy.
not so rare actually there. That's why I
I've
don't live
seen
there. I
videos,
don't want to live there.
but
Maybe
how
you
to ride the subway in Japan? Just
commute.
back into it and find your
Exactly.
spot.
But the local area not so. My area is maybe 30 or 1 hour commuting is common.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. So perfect. And Jair, would you like to talk about food times? What time do you normally eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Brazil?
My routine is normally in my home. I eat with my wife in the morning breakfast, a fruit, avocado, or banana, or and 2 eggs and a milk with coffee. Is after the breakfast, 2 hours after we eat a fruit or a snack. And our lunch is normally in the noon,
At
12
noon.
and point.
Okay.
Yeah. After that lunch, we go straight or sometimes and come back home. We eat a snack with coffee. And our dinner is normally between 18 and 17 p.m.
So 5 and 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we we go sleep, go bed more or less 10 p.m. And our day go on normally. That's 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 way.
Mm-hmm.
When we are in the vacations, we change our habits because
Good.
we go to restaurants, a pizzeria, or the friends, churrascaria. And we eat many vegetables and meat. We like fish, me, because she don't like eat meat, fish, but she cook fish for me, and it's good, very good. I I think my health is good. I am 70 years old and no problem. No cholesterol, no glycemia, nothing. I'm fine.
Well, fantastic. That's great.
I'm very happy for you, Jer. Said by a nurse.
Good job. Good job. Perfect. Well, we're kind of coming to the end here. I know we talked about, goodbyes and things like that. So is there anything left that you've thought of throughout today's class that you'd like to share before we finish?
Yes, I want to confirm. I heard from Brazilian people, and ciao in Brazilian means just goodbye. But Italians say ciao, hi, also goodbye meaning, right?
Yeah, right.
Nice
Ciao.
to see you. Nice to see you, Rebecca. And
Nice.
Thomas Bush.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, I'm asking you, Jer, as well.
Thank you.
Ah, yeah.
Mike.
Oh my gosh.
Thank
You
you.
can understand.
Jair, please say
Jair.
my Italian hello to your daughters and the other your relatives in Italy. I
Thank
hope
you.
everything is okay for them in Italy. Say my
Bye-bye.
Italian hello.
Bye,
Perfect.
friends.
Goodbye. Ken, to answer your question, here in Spain, we actually say ciao as well, and it is in the form of goodbye. So,
Okay, so only for farewell in Spain. Okay.
And it's spelled the same. So we have basically we. The Spanish language has adopted the Italian way.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard ciao in Brazilian means just goodbye, right? I'm asking you, Jer. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Brazil is ciao.
Ciao.
Até
Oh,
logo.
ciao.
And that's
Okay. Farewell.
goodbye,
Okay.
right? That's only goodbye. It's not hello.
Okay. Maybe, yeah, sounds like that. Okay, thank you very much.
But
Okay.
I think our Italian ciao by now is international, no?
I think it is.
International. Exactly.
We know what it is in the United States. I don't think many people use it, though.
No?
I don't remember, but I don't think so. I don't think a lot of people use it, but perfect.
When
Well,
the chat is very good, I said ciao ciao.
Ciao,
I
ciao.
go.
Perfect. All right. Well, very good. Well, thank you for coming today, and it was really nice to meet Jair as well. And so that's it. So great. And so Monday, I can't remember what we're doing. My agenda is too far away from me here. So if you give me just a second.
Your agenda is too full.
It's out of reach at the moment. Let me see if I can switch this and it doesn't cut out. Thinking. Oh, the 24th is Monday. A business scheme. So we're talking about different ways that businesses are constructed, how they work, things like that. So back to business. All right.
We are be able to make a lot of money after your lesson.
I'm actually trying to prepare classes for August, September, October, etc. And there will be lots of business situations which will be quite helpful for those entrepreneurs. Absolutely. Well, very good. Well, thank you both for coming, and hopefully we'll see you on Monday, if not Wednesday. I think it's grammar on Wednesday, so no problem.
Ciao. Ciao.
All right. Bye.
Ciao.